Thank you. Good evening, everybody. And thanks for this humble opportunity to come and present out over here. Uh, so before I go down and talk about, sorry, I have a habit of talk about this very important perspective, which has been came out a couple of months back that 95% Gen AI projects are failing. I would like to go a little bit deeper about that. I have only one slide about my company. We are a unified agentic platform, and we are basically a complete kitchen where you can be able to develop any agentic AI use cases. So we'll talk about that more in detail. But before that, let's play a video. Thank you. And this is all about our company. And just to go above, go forward, some pointers that we all need to keep in mind that how AI is disrupting. So I would like it like 90% of the internet when adoption happened, it took around 20 years time, as compared to the Gen AI, which just took 3 years time. As compared to when you look at paper versus digital transformation, took 30 years time. But now, if you look at the Gen AI adoption from agentic or purely from a Gen AI point of view, it is just taking around 3 to 5 years. After that, in this process, a lot of transformation is going to happen. So it can basically get related to how, and a lot of STEAM discussion also happened today, right? So if you can look at the STEAM revolution happened, which drive the industrial revolution basically, right? And that is how the automation has got into a bigger perspective from an industrial revolution point of view, right? The same thing which is happening on an AI point of view, where in next couple of years, I'm not saying that it is going to be end of this thing, but it is going to impact how we work, how we operate, and how we have to repurpose the way that you have to looking from a use case to use case point of view. And as Navneet rightly said that India is going to be a use case capital of the world, and which is very much right. So before going further, thank you to HDFC Bank, and we are UnifyApps. We have 48 customers. We are 18 months old, 10 million, we crossed $10 million ARR, and fortunately, by blessing of God, we got the first couple of customers, HDFC Bank, our first couple of customers. So thank you for that. And I'm very proud that today we are standing out over here in terms of talking about the entire HDFC group of people out over here. So with that, and this is a very important point, which is coming, and this is based on an MIT study which happened around a couple of months back, and why the 95% Gen AI pilots are getting failed. So the fundamental problem is this, that when we look at any kind of LLM, we just look at, hey, this is really doing wonders, and we just start to put the prompt. But think about it, that any LLM, you talk about open source, you talk about cloud, you talk about Gemini, anything, they are basically trained in a very high amount of public data, not on enterprise data. And that is where the biggest problem, and it doesn't have a context on your enterprise perspective and the transition and the rest of the other things. Now, even if you decide that in my enterprise, I'm connecting the entire systems together, will it going to solve the problem? I don't think so it is going to solve the problem, because your data are not connected. So unless and until your data is connected, you have to create a golden data layer before we are trying to drive. And what is really happening here is the pilots are getting failed because you are not creating the foundation part in a proper way, rather than just jumping on a prompt layer and trying to do some stuff out over there. And this is where the problem child is all about. People try to create a lot of agentic AI solution, putting together a zoo of multiple solutions. And when you try to do all those things connected, it becomes a Panchvarshi Yojana. It is not going to happen, because we have to look at how fast we can drive the use case from a business value point of view, rather than just being stuck into a technology layer, okay, and without even getting any output. And the biggest part in any agentic is not about how you drive a search-based use cases. It is all about how you drive an agentic-based use cases, where multiple agents are coming into play and working on that. And those things, in my last 7 months journey out over here, and I don't see that is really taking place, because we are just trying to play, and that is one of the fundamental reasons why a lot of AI projects are just being into the POC stage, not even getting into the production stage also. With that, a little bit about our company, and we are basically trying to how we are going to solve this problem, right? So when you look at the down layer, it is about your systems. Your systems, the platform comes with a 700 plus pre-purpose integrations and all. So it is basically systems needs to get connected. The second layer is about the data layer, where you have to drive a single source of truth. For example, you might have got 5 different systems in your office, in your data center, and every system has got a PI data. Now, how do I look at and connect which of the PIs are the right PIs? It is not about migrating the entire data. It is about creating that layer of golden source of truth. And once we do that, we need to go above in terms of driving a workflow or orchestration layer from inside and outside the organization, followed by how fast you can able to develop a GenAI application with a human in the loop, okay? And that layer is basically the 5th layer, and the 6th layer is basically how you want to do the prompting part. The problem is this, that 95% pilots are failing because we are trying to jump on the first point, the agentic builder part, rather than fixing the foundation problem. And as a UnifyApps, we are trying to solve this particular problem. And the good part is this, that we are very, very successful with that. And it also goes back to how we are trying to create impact from an India point of view, right? So in my 99.9% discussion with the customer, we are basically killing every West as a competition, not on price, but on value, that we are trying to drive on those discussions, and value and also the flexibility part. With that, this is a couple of use cases that we have done from an industry point of view. I'll not take much time about this, from finance, from HR. So there are plenty of such use cases which are there in our organization, which we have done already. And thank you. Thanks for your time. My time is up. Thanks a lot.